Okay, let's do some fun work. I have just picked out some fun stencils to work with and some really strong patterned collage papers. And I will work into my my journal that I always bring with me. Maybe I should work on a page that has some paint on it already. I have this palette here as well, so I will use that up. As always, I like to use stuff up, as you know, and not leave anything. And I have some other paints here, and I actually have some colors that I kind of not that often use. I just picked out some tubes here. So let's just begin. So what should I start with? Let's start with just some collage papers with patterns. And as you know, I quite often do my own collage papers. Now I will use paper with some really strong patterns. But these kind of patterns you can create if you have some tissue paper or silk paper and you just create stripes and grab a stencil or something and create papers that has these high contrast marks on them. That would be very easy to do. But I will just put some of these on just to relax and just create. Yeah, so be traveling around like this and creating together with a lot of people. It's just amazing. And what a treat. I'm so grateful for being able to do this. It's really amazing to meet people and create together. But feeling when I was going to do this live, I thought, but hey, I'm doing this a lot actually. I'm creating together with a lot of people all the time. It's not just in person, is of course very special. But I'm so grateful that we can do it online. That's just fantastic. I had a lot of medium. I'll pull off some of the medium here. That became quite cool, just that. But I will actually be crazy and do many layers on this, I thought, with different stencil and different patterns and just kind of do a lot. So let's do the stencil, really cool stencil. Let's put some of this stencil on here. Maybe do that also dark, actually. I'll grab my palette. So I'll just put some on here while I'm talking. To create with stencil, I love to create with stencil, and I did it a lot before. And then I kind of got into creating my own stencils and not use them in the same way as I did before. I kind of got really excited, and that's when I decided that's what I will do during this live session today. I will just create with different stencils and some pattern papers. So one thing that I often do is that I put a stencil down and then I put it again, but not exactly in the same place, and I use another color or another value on it, and that usually makes it really interesting. Usually I let it dry in between, but yeah, look at the depth of that. Maybe I should use some white somewhere. Let's use the same stencil in one more place. Maybe down here. Maybe I'll turn it upside down. And it's creating with stencils and kind of playing around with stencils are so freeing because you don't have to really think. It doesn't have to become anything. I will actually put that. I really like that white, and especially on top of that. I will do that here as well. I will do a third layer on here. Oops, that was a lot of paint. That will probably be a bit of a, yeah, look at that. So yeah, when you have a lot of paint, it gets really wet and it sips underneath the actual stencil. Doesn't matter at all, but it makes a different mark. And I found this cool thing, which has many different patterns and flowers on it. And then this that is completely different. I thought that was pretty cool. So I will put that on here. And I will do this with kind of a dark let's see, so that we get some patterns in it, like this maybe. Put some dark on here. Oop, I should have had something under my book. That didn't show that well, actually. Why don't we do the same thing with some light then and see if that shows better? And if it doesn't come out when you work with stencils, it doesn't really matter because it's just some kind of mark. Doesn't really have to be something. It's more a process of see what that did. No, not really. Just some kind of pattern. I like the other stencil better. I kind of thought this looked cool. Let's take some of these. This one will come out. We'll put that somewhere. Let's grab another color, actually. Just crazy. We'll just do a, or maybe it's not that crazy, but I think it's a bit crazy. Let's do a pink. How often do I work with pink? I'll just do some of these. And this is a stencil girl stencil, and I love, as you probably know, we can do them down here actually. I like lines like this. No, that's no color on that. No paint. Oh, yum. Like that. Let's create some of these maybe down here as well. And what I love with creating with stencils and pattern papers is, as I said, that you don't really have to think. You just create and something, it becomes something. Even if you have no inspiration and you get some stencils out and you start creating and you get excited about a color or a pattern, and then you go from there. And I always have a lot of things going on at the same time. So what happens is that I maybe feel like, oh, I really like these patterns and colors, and therefore I want to continue with that and do more of that. Let's do some more white. Let's do this one again. Use white. These small stencils is actually quite tricky sometimes. Cool, good. Let's do another one of these somewhere. Here. Yeah. That starts to be quite yummy. Should we maybe put some more of these stripes somewhere? Let's do some more collage in the middle of this. Oh, that was one of my travel lights, and it only lasts for a very short time actually. Should we do some more stripes somewhere? Should I just put them down here maybe? Let's put a little bit on this so they're not so much on their own there. I lost even further up. Okay. I like to have the same pattern in different places. Good. Let's put some orange on, just to get something else on. We are not doing a color study here. We are just playing. Let's do these kind of things, whatever they are. I think I will actually do some gold, a little bit of shine on top of this. In a little while, I'll get that kind of color out as well. Down here, it's a bit boring. Let's do some really dark. I'll get some black, right? Let's do some really dark. That's yummy. Up here as well, where we have this crazy corner with all the different patterns on. Down here we have our non so crazy corner. What do we do next? Okay, I will put some white on. So I will start to work with the values. So the darkest and the lightest. I love that. Let's see. Let's put this pinkish flower on with some white. Which flower was it? It was this one. A little bit on the side. Get some more white on. That's good. Up here we need some white as well. Maybe we should actually put this on here in the middle. And playing around on a piece of paper, on something that doesn't matter, or in an art journal, and try different things, maybe pull out things that you don't use that often. Maybe you have a lot of stencil that you don't use. Play around with them. You find new things, new fun things that you then can use in something else. I also have this really cool. Look at this. Be bold you. Let's see what it says here. See if I can read it when I put it on. I'll put some more white on, and then I'll put some more. Oh, I start to like this actually. Let's put these in some gold. Now I'm just playing around here. Let's see, did I have another one here? I don't always paint faces, but it might look like that, but I actually don't. But I like to do it. Cafe Flow is so much about just creating actually, and just giving yourself the time and not really think about what it will become. And these kind of exercises or sessions or is such a big part of finding your way of creating and finding what you enjoy. And so much is about just get going and just do and not really think too much. So it's kind of important to let yourself play and play with things that you usually not play with. It's also good. Yeah, cool. Let's try to put a little bit of these in really black down here. Like that maybe. Contrast is really something that is making a huge difference in your art. If you look at your art and you see that it's a lot of mid values, try to add some of the darkest dark and some of the lightest light into your work. It doesn't have to be white and black, absolutely not. But try a little bit and see what it does when you put really dark of whatever color you are using, for example, in some parts of it, and really light. It really changes and it gives such interest to your work when you dare to kind of add these values, black and white. Let's see if we can get this on. I wanted some white as well on top of this. But when you put white on top of black, it becomes really gray if it's not dry, of course. And this is not dry, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, it works. Let's put some of this. Some parts of this I like. Some parts I'm not overly happy about. Doesn't matter. It will just be one of the pages in my journal. It will be a little session of fun, doing what I love. I kind of covered up my flowers there, so I'll put those on again with some white. And my sponges are all kind of messy. Now, let's put some more white on my... We'll get some pink left, I think, on this palette when I'm ready. Oh, that's a lot of white. So I will do some collage papers out of that, I guess. That's what I do. Let's see if we can get these flowers on again, so they become kind of really white here. Kind of like them. They might just mush up, but no. See? You can put a stencil back on and redo the pattern. Now I'll put the whitest white down. I'll put some blackest black on as well. And do this one as well. Cool. I think I will let this dry. I might actually write something on it. Maybe we should actually put this on again, see if we can get this to show. Which part was it? Oh, I see it really well because it's white. I'll see if I can put that on. It was actually quite cool with this white here. Let's see there. I think we have it. Last little thing before we end. Dare to dream, brave, courageous. Good. I think that's a very good little session. I actually love the colors, even though I just picked them off I guess I kind of knew what I was doing when I picked them off the shelf maybe, but it felt like I was just going for different kinds of colors. I didn't at all think, I actually want to do one more thing. This happens all the time. I'm never happy. I will put a couple of really white things up here. And it's pink and orange and the teal, and the orange is two oranges. It's transparent red orange, or red iron oxide actually, but it's kind of red orange. And then it was this one that is called gold yellow. Oh, yeah, maybe it's a yellow. A very yellowy orange and a very red orange. And what else did I have on? I had a pink. It's called Persian red. I would call that pink, actually. Why make it so complicated? Teal and some Van Dyke brown I had, and some black and white. That's the colors. Cool. I will actually end here. I hope you had a good little session with the stenciling and art journaling and pick out the colors. Don't really think too much. Get some stencils out or some stamps, or cut your own stencils and just start to play and add marks. And you can add marks with brushes and all sorts of things. It doesn't have to be stencils. So play a bit and play for the sake of just playing. I think it is so important for our creative process. It is so important for finding inspiration, to not get stuck. Yeah, do that. Do some play. So good. Have fun. Bye.